Y'all ready for this? Day, daily grind, day, grind, Mortal Kombat. Welcome to the daily grind and happy Tuesday. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker. I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I forgot that I had to take someone to the airport at this time, and so I dropped the ball. That's on me. But it's Tuesday. I have Rusty with me. How are you, Buckets? You good, brother?
I'm good, man. Happy Tuesday. It's another beautiful day here in Shelby County, Tennessee. It's going to be a little bit cooler today, so maybe not all of my face will melt off today while I'm walking around, but it's going to be a great day, man. It's going to be a great Tuesday.
Heck yeah. Shout out Wayno. Shout out King Meeks. Shout out everybody joining us at home or in your car, wherever you're joining us. Just shout out. Thanks for hanging out with us this Tuesday morning. We've got a little bit of stuff to talk about today. Nothing crazy. We're kind of in the dog days of NBA where it's just you're looking for news. You're like trying to find trying to find stuff to talk about. It's a little bit easier for us. You know, we can always find stuff to talk about. Shout out Iron Giant. I love that. I got to start calling you Iron Giant in the morning. That's good.
I like that. Called way worse, so I'll take Iron Giant.
But for those, I don't know if we have any gamers with us. I play games occasionally. We're going to talk about 2K ratings. They I know one thing that was making the round specifically about these ratings was the Desmond Bane disrespect, specifically with his 3-point shot, and it's still pretty stark. I don't know how many. If anybody watching at home plays 2K a lot, let us know. I don't play a ton. I just play a little bit, but I don't know. I think there's a little bit of disrespect here overall. I mean, Jaws a 93.
Yeah.
Jaren, the fact we only have one 90s player is a little silly to me. That's
wild.
That's where I want to start.
Yeah, I mean, John Morant clearly earned an above 90, probably even closer to 95, 96 overall. This is a recency bias. This is not anything looking at the years that were 21, 22, and 22, 23, when he was one of the best players in the association, talking about being the face of the NBA and could have easily earned a 96, 97 rating. Dunks being 97 feels appropriate. I mean, he's one of the best dunkers in the NBA, if not the best. But, dude, the disrespect on Tripp and Desmond, man. Like, Jaren at 87, like, he's at least a above 90s player.
Yes.
And then Desmond Bane is one of the best, like, fly-by three-point shooters, transition three-point shooters in the game today. And for it to only be at 88, like, that dude should be a freaking cheat code.
Yes. The biggest thing about that rating, like, specifically – and this is no shade towards Gigi. He is only 8 points rated higher than Gigi at 3. And that's just not like that's not right.
They clearly gave this to an intern. It was like, just figure this out. And he just kind of went with what he saw. Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's no NBA forethought in this. Absolutely, man. How can you hate from outside the club, right? Like, you can't even get in the 901. And you're going to give Desmond, again, is one of the best shooters. They got Vince at 81. Like, he is 7 points better than Vince Williams Jr. in threes. Absolutely not. Like, no shade to Vince at all. But Desmond is one of the best, just pure shooters. We're, 3 years away from him competing in the NBA three-point contest? Like, the guy is a lethal sharpshooter. They at least call him a 2A sharpshooter. But you're only going to rate it an 88? I mean, come on, bro.
Man, this one – it was weird because you said it feels like an intern did it. It's like someone who is aware of the top 4 names on the Grizzlies roster. They know John Morant, they know Jaren Jackson Jr., they know Desmond Bane, and they know Marcus Smart. The rest of them, I mean, Jake LaRavia, Scottie Pippen Jr., Derrick Rose, Luke Kennard, Santi Aldama, Vince Williams Jr., Brandon Clark, and Gigi are all within 4 points of each other. I don't know if that is accurate. That's just that to me. That feels like someone who is like, I don't know. There's some 3-and-D wings. Let's throw them. It's just very, very. I am by no means someone who knows how to program video games or understands that, but I just feel like and I know we're homers. I would be curious to talk to people who play as other teams and be like, man, they do this to your team, because I could be wrong, but I just think you watch one Grizzlies game and you know that Jake LaRavia is not 2 points less. Like, Jake LaRavia is rated 75. Vince Williams Jr. is rated 78. You think that Vince Williams Jr. is only a 3 points better player than Jake LaRavia? I just don't think that's correct. I just think that's
how about this? You've got Jake LaRavia at 77 on 3 points. You've got Jaren Jackson Jr., one of the best 3-point shooting bigs, at a 78. Like, he's only 1 point better than Jake from Wake. Like, there's absolutely no way. It's they've got Derrick Rose and Jaren Jackson Jr. rated the same from 3 points, from 3-point land. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
They've got, well, and this, again, this is someone I feel like who doesn't watch these teams play. This is someone who's played 2K before, probably. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're going off of, because Derrick Rose and Scottie Pippen Jr. are rated the exact same. That feels like someone who didn't know that we had 2 backup point guards and was like, crap.
Yeah, exactly.
And then and the rookies are interesting too, because you've got Cam Spencer and Jalen Wells both rated 68 and Zach Edey rated 72. I would assume Zach Edey would have been ranked a little bit higher. Yeah. I don't, because I think Klingon was rated 76, 70.
I think that probably because we didn't see a lot of him in Summer League. I mean, he really only played 1 game and then just a little bit of a second game. We didn't get a ton of Edey look. I felt like, he should have come in the upper 70s there. But, clearly this is some guy who just plays video games and doesn't actually watch ball to understand, like, these rankings, man. Because, like, you're right. I'm curious if other fan bases are having this same conversation around 2K ratings. It just feels like the disrespect for Memphis comes from every outlet, including video games.
Yes. It's just, I mean, like, this reminds me why I don't play video games. Like, I get video games are meant to be an escape and blah, 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 blah. But
it's fantasy, clearly.
It's clearly yes. But, like, to me, it seems a little bit lazy when it's like, okay, I know the 4 biggest names on the team. I don't know. I know those names. Let's just give the rest of the guys between an 80 and a 70, because it's a game. Like, who's going to complain? It's just, if I was Desmond Bane, I'd be like 85, 88 at 3 point. That is the one glaring.
Yeah. And he's looking at that. Dez loves to play with his chip on his shoulder. I'm sure him and Tripp have played and saw their ratings, and they're like, okay, just again, more locker room material. I wouldn't be surprised if this was posted in seems a freshman in high school did this rating.
Shout out King Meeks.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was posted in Jaren or Dez's locker come this fall in FedEx Forum, just to remind themselves of, hey, this is what they think of you. And then he goes out there and he'll shoot, above 40%, 45% from 3. Like, just freaking kill it.
Just killing it. If there's anybody that watches this show that's not a Grizzlies fan, hit us up in the comments or tweet at us. Let us know if your team is getting this kind of disrespect. I'm just curious, because I haven't played a video game in a long time, especially one of these. I'm just curious. I'm curious because I was toying with the idea of buying this one. If this is how it's going to be, I might not.
Yeah. I'm just looking at some of the other team ratings real quick. I mean, they've got, like, if you go to Oklahoma City, if my website, I picked like the buggiest website, they got SGA at 97, 82 from 3, 75.
97?
97 for SGA. Chet is an 86, 82 from 3. Alex Caruso is an 82. Jalen Williams is an 87. Like, they got these guys rated higher. Like, come on, man. Miss me with this. What in the friggin' world?
Man, I tell you what, the most like glaring like mistake I think on here. Have you seen the Desmond Bane face scan?
Oh, it's awful.
Dude.
Awful. They did my boy dirty.
Like, all Dez needs to do is pull NBA 2K up and be like, this is what these mugs think of me, because he looks like they took Scottie Pippen Jr.'s face scan and just stretched it out. That's bad. Yeah,
that's bad.
It's real bad.
Looking at one more for comparison, the Minnesota Timberwolves, one of our counterparts in the West, they've got Ant at a 95, 86 from 3. They have Ant shooting better from 3, or almost as good as from 3 as Desmond Bane. I don't think so. 97 on dunk, I'll give him that. Cat is an 88. This is funny. Rudy Gobert is an 87. First of all, that's awful. What a poor assessment. But his 3-point shooting is 25.
Yeah, let's go.
They got Mike Conley at an 81, Naz Reid at an 81, and Jaden Daniels at an 80. So, man, I don't know. It feels ridiculous. Like, it feels like some of the bigger names are getting more of a star treatment. And as a smaller market team, they don't know that we here at the Daily Grind on Bluff City Media, bluffcitymedia.co are for the people. for the people. And we care about our fans, and we care about our video games, and we want our ratings to be right.
Well, and it's like kids be playing this. I don't want kids out there thinking that Desmond Bain looks like that and shoots like that. I don't want anybody thinking that. I want them to think that he's like looks like the Iron Giant. That's what I want.
Exactly. Just be the man. Like when I first saw the scan here of him, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I thought it was supposed to be Gigi. It looks almost like Gigi, like a lighter skinned Gigi. And then I don't know what Brandon Clark looks like a Marvel Comics villain with his little short hair and the little scowl. Like he looks like he should be like an X-Men bad guy.
I think it also seems that they might be a little confused on how to do light skin. It just looks like Brandon Clark looks really, really, I don't know. Whoever does the face scanning, I got some friends that can code. Yeah. Give me a call. They're good. They're good at this stuff. Enough about video games. Let's talk about like actual basketball. Let's talk about actual basketball. We're going to have a little bit of Grizzlies news, not a ton, but there was some stuff that happened that I just want to touch over. The biggest thing, honestly, I guess the biggest signing that has happened in a little bit was the 76ers have signed Yabusele. Well, gosh, what's his first name? The whole Yabu is what I like to call
Gershon
Yabusele. I can't.
There you go.
Yabusele. We've not done voices since the Olympics have been over, and I've lost it.
Yeah, Maggie speaks French, or at least she used to. I'm gonna have to consult with her to see, and I'll report back later this week on how to pronounce this fella's name. Maggie.
We'll have French Corner with Maggie on Thursday, where you just give me some French words. Yabusele. The Sixers signed Yabusele, who was Yabusele. Yabu. We're gonna call him Yabu.
Yabu.
They signed Yabu, who was arguably maybe the one guy that everybody collectively saw that was playing in the Olympics that was like, man, that dude deserves another shot. He's a hoop. I mean, he dunked on LeBron. Like that shows a level of fearlessness that there's not a lot of dudes in the NBA that do that have the balls to do that. Granted, they'll get called here, but it's just with the Sixers signing him, their roster's looking pretty good. It looks better. It looks better. They've just got so we got Joel Embiid, we've got Tyrese Maxey, we've got Kelly Oubre, we've got Paul George, we've got Caleb Martin, we've got Kyle Lowry, we've got Reggie Jackson, we've got Eric Gordon, we've got Andre Drummond, and Jared McCain. I don't know how many names I said, but that's like 10 to 11 guys that are pretty good. Granted, I don't know where Yabu fits in that rotation. And granted, a lot of this is going to depend on if Paul George can stay healthy, if Joel can stay healthy, if they are a good team. But
so he kind of fits that backup to Caleb Martin, because Caleb Martin's probably going to start at the power forward. He's bruising, he's 6'8", like 260. Like he's a big guy. He scored 22 against Canada, 17 against Germany, and 20 in the gold medal game against the US. So he had a really good home stretch to finish out the Olympics. He shot 66.7% from the field. Like that's a blistering pace, like absolutely incredible pace. And so, he's a compliment to that front court for Philly. You're right, man. This team's only going to go as far as Embiid and Paul George's knees will carry them. He's going to be a depth guy, maybe like an 8th, 9th man off the bench, but he did enough during the Olympics to earn another shot, and they got him very team friendly. It's a $2.1 million deal. It's not like it's a massive deal, but $2 million on a prove-it contract, I'm here for it, especially with the way he played against the elite players in the United States, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're Philadelphia, you want guys that will play that way against the elite. That's important. I'm going to throw these up here. I do think both of these are important. If Embiid is tired and has to play himself into shape again, I mean, I just don't know. The dude's big. He's a big guy, and big guys with bad knees, it's a bad recipe.
Well, especially as much as he falls during games. Like he just falls in an inordinate amount to be 7 foot forever in three spins. It's not like he should be on the floor as much as he is. Like, Luke, I think you or I could bump into him and he'd go flying. Whoa. And when you combine that with bad knees, injury history, and then you come crashing down on them multiple times a game, it's a recipe for burnout by the All-Star weekend. There's no doubt about it. And Paul George, God bless him, he's just getting older. He's ancient for basketball terms, and he's getting on up there. And His knees aren't what they used to be. His quickness first steps not what it used to be. And so this team's only going to go as far as those knees will carry them. You know, I've joked on the show before. I saw a great tweet, and it was, what's stopping this team? And it was like Tyrese, and it was Joel, and it was Paul George, and somebody had screenshotted it and circled 4 knees, both of Joel's and both of Paul George, and said, these.
They were right here. This is what's stopping them.
That's it.
Man, it's for Sixers fans, because those guys talk about dudes that care about their team and then really take it personally. I hope for their sake that at least he makes it to the playoffs. But
yeah,
I don't know. One person I hope doesn't make it to the playoffs because he's in the West is Zion, because in other news, that dude has lost some weight. He has slimmed down, and it's like for me, it was like the second, like the double take kind of losing, especially in his face. I know a lot of guys that carry weight in their face, and he looks like he's not been eaten, or has been eaten. I don't know. I'm just, part of Zion's appeal for me is his stoutness, how big he is, his ability just to get through anybody on his way to the basket. I hope he can still do that. All right. I don't hope.
I'm curious if he can.
Bingo.
Yeah, because like he's literally half the man he used to be. Like this is the guy that the old Zion ate, right? Like, but like you said, is it too skinny? Like picture, like he doesn't look healthy. It's not like he's a fit 280s. They're saying he's 281, which is like about 4 or 5 pounds less than what he was at Duke. And so Zion will. And so he doesn't look super healthy. He's not the stout player that he used to be. And like you said, half his game was just bully ball, right? Like what we see with Zebo, just imposing your will because you were stronger than everybody else. Well, now you're just you're a little skinny dude with a big head. Like now what are you going to be able to do? Are you going to be able to throw your weight around like you could when you were, 300, 310? Like what is that going to look like this season? I'm curious. As a Grizzlies fan, I'm not mad at it. This looks like a body that Zach Edey could push around the paint. Last year or 2 years ago, Zion, probably not. He could probably hold his own a little bit better. But as a Grizz fan, I'm encouraged by this because it's less weight for Zion to throw around in the post and less oomph that he'll go to the basket with.
Yes, and if I'm a part of the Pelicans organization, I'm upset because they don't have any bigs. They got no bigs on that roster. Like, I don't know. You're going to rely on – he's the one guy that's got that size, and they need it.
Yeah, because they got Daniel Theus, who's skinny as well. They don't have any meat. They don't have anybody with lead in their britches that can get down in the paint and bang with Zach Edey, bang with Hartenstein and Steve-O and some of these big centers, Nikola Jokic. Like this, it looks like a guy that's going to get pushed around by some bigger players. Yes,
and I don't – everyone says you can find a center on the free agency market. I don't want to have to – if I'm them Pelicans, take it from someone who had to do that all last season. It's not fun. It is not fun, and I would not recommend it. It's not.
We literally pulled Biyombo out of a bag of Fritos on his couch and put him out there and had a couple of good games, but it didn't go super well. And so you want a center with some size. So if I'm the Pelicans front office, I call him in and man, this is awesome. I'm glad you lost some weight. Here's a 12-pack from Crystals. Go eat this in your locker.
Oh, man, I love Crystals.
Why'd you guys
do? So good.
It's too early in the morning to be thinking about Crystals.
It is. I was
rushing Crystals right now.
I was like, when do they start serving sackfuls? It's not yet. Not yet. Last thing I want to talk about before we take a break is, and just briefly, because in all the shuffle, all the Olympics, I think it's easy to forget that Mamadi Diakite is still on this team. And it seems like he is going to be on the roster. He's going to be on the roster. I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't really know. He's not cracking unless he shows up and has the best training camp that anyone's ever seen. He's going to be the 15th. Honestly, he might not even be the 15th man because Jalen these rookies, I figure see more time than him. I just don't know. I don't think he won't be on the squad by the trade deadline. I don't know.
I agree. I don't think he will be. He's got 6 starts in his entire career. He's been in the league since the 2020-2021 season. 6 teams, started 6 games, played in 55. He averages 9.6 minutes per game. This is not a guy that's going to see the floor very much. This is a guy that's going to be a water boy, a rah-rah guy on the bench. Add some depth, get some garbage time here and there, but he's got a $1.8 million guaranteed contract. That's just salary fodder that we can use. for trades.
Cut that. Yeah, that's for trades. If we just decide, hey, we don't want that extra, we just cut that. Like, it's. I mean, I certainly hope that he's not. I mean, he's got to be I imagine at this point he knows he's just hoping to get a job. Like, he can't be hoping for more than he's got to know that that's what he's here for. You know,
yeah, exactly.
And I was looking like he's had flashes. Like, there's been on defense, there's been some seasons where he's been in like the upper 80th percentile block wise. Like he's shown flashes of like little things that he can do, but there's never been, the sample size is just too small. It's just way too small. And when you've got a championship firmly in your sights, Ja even said it. I think it was yesterday where Ja was like, I think if we could stay healthy, we can win. That's like, sorry, man. This isn't the team for you.
Yeah. I agree. This is a team who, when fully healthy and clicking, the floor is the finals. Like, that's the floor. It's the finals. And a team that has got that aspiration doesn't play a guy like Diakite. He is a guy that is, again, clearly he's just there for depth. He only averages 2 shots a game. Like, it's just like there's not really even a role for him. And then, like, you think about it, we do this a lot, this thought exercise. Like, if he's going to play, whose minutes are you giving up? Right. That's like Scottie Pippen Jr. minutes, or that would be, some Jake minutes, or that would be some of these guys who I would, like Santi minutes. These are minutes I'd rather distribute to guys I know that are at least willing to shoot. And, Santi gives you a little bit of both. Like, sorry, Wayno, he can play a little defense. You got Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be spelling, Derrick Rose and Ja. Like, there's guys that can play. And then really he's a power forward and a center. Like, you'd rather play him over Santi or BC or somebody like that? No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Or hell, even over Jay Huff, who's at 7'1".
I mean, that's it. 7'1" and can run the floor and actually like puts up shots. Like, no, give me Huff, give me BC, and let's get Diakite. Thank you for your service in the trade to get rid of Zaire Williams. We really appreciate that.
Yes.
Time to go.
Yes. Yeah, time to go, brother. We're sorry. We are going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're not going to talk about sad. We're not going to talk about bad stuff. We're going to talk about,
I got some stuff.
We know what we're going to talk about right after this break. We're going to tube. We're going to tube because it's Tuesday right after this break.
One of the questions as far as my writings for the Wizards was, what's going to happen with Tyus Jones? And I kind of was able to narrow it down. He had 3 teams that he was primarily looking at, and that were the Memphis Grizzlies, the Phoenix Suns, and the Atlanta Hawks. From my understanding, Memphis they offered him more money. Memphis offer was somewhere around $5 to $6 million, but they wouldn't have given him an opportunity to start. And I believe that was something that was really important for him.
I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, but I don't think the Grizzlies actually made a serious run at Tyus Jones. And at that number, I don't even consider that serious. You know what I mean?
A lot of people in Memphis didn't really want to believe that the Grizzlies were interested in Tyus Jones. And I think from what I saw on the internet, a lot of that has to do with you guys' expectation of what Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be. The Memphis Grizzlies very much like Scottie Pippen Jr., but I'm also here to tell you they went out and tried to get a backup point guard.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Representing your country and winning, I think I'd black out on the podium. Because when I watch these people whose names I won't remember a week from now, and they're on the podium and they have tears and I start crying because I'm like, what a moment for this person. I'm getting a little nervous talking about it right now, BK.
I would shed 3 tears.
Oh.
I wouldn't be nose running crying. Not that crying. You know, there's levels to this crying game. There's
shoulder shaking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even when the tears stop, you still like, that's when you used to get in trouble. Or your parents used to give you, that's when you used to get beaten.
You stop.
Yes, you better stop crying.
Exactly.
Put that thing on that bottom lip.
I'm not crying.
Right, I would definitely be up there. I would cry.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. It's Daily Grind and you're back. That's a little bit better. Welcome back to Daily Grind. You can catch that show. You can catch all of our shows. You got Night Court, you got Anthony Sane show. You got the $2 Sports show. You got a whole mess of shows. BluffCityMedia.co. But back to our show. It's Tuesday, and and everybody at the house, thank you for hanging with us. Edward, Wayno, King Meeks, everybody, thank you. It's Tuesdays. We got a little tradition around here. I could talk about what I've been watching. I'm by myself this week. The lady and the kid, they're out, they're tripping. So it's just me. I'm just kind of watching a bunch of movies. I watched The Empire Strikes Back last night because I'm bored. That's where I'm at. But enough about me. We all want to know where you're at on your tubing adventures with Game of Thrones. Where are you at?
Man. So I'm about halfway through season 6, episode 10. We just finished I've got the names only here. I'm not getting spoilers, but we just finished episode 8, which is No One, and that's where there's like Arya has got kind of leaving the many-faced god and kind of progressing on her own. We watched Battle of the Bastards, and I watched one of the best ways for a villain to end his life.
Yes.
Ramsay Bolton gone. R.I.P. No. Like taken out by his own friggin' dogs after Jon Snow. I've seen the meme over the years, but I didn't know where it came from.
With the sword.
One of the most iconic, like badass moments, standing there holding his sword while the Bolton army is attacking. You think this is it. This is how it ends. And then boom, here are the wildlings to come help, and his army is there to help. Then they're surrounded. It looks like it's over. Like Jon Snow. I told Maggie, I'm like, he gets brought back to life. He gets stampeded by wildlings, only to be rescued by Sansa and the Sons of the Vale. I don't like Littlefinger. I don't trust him, but Sansa doing Sansa things and really coming into her own as a character, saving the day with the Knights of the Vale.
Yeah.
And then like her watching Ramsay Bolton get his from his own dogs was just incredible. But then, in an explosive turn, Cersei decides to take everything in her own hands and blow up whatchamacallit, where all the people are for the trial. Well, I was glad to see the High Sparrow get his, because what a bum that guy is.
Yeah, dude's bum.
Now, but that also took out the Tyrells, Marjorie, her dad, and all that. And so, like, the pairing that I didn't see coming and that I didn't know that I needed was Marjorie or the Lady Tyrell, the grandmother, going to Dorne and meeting with the queen and them there, and like she shuts the 3 girls up, and she's like, I'm not here, like I'm old, like I've lost my son and my grandson and my granddaughter, like I'm old, like I don't want retribution. She's like, I want revenge. And it's like, well, you've come to the right place. I'm like, let's freaking go. Dude. So like, we're not quite done with season 6, so don't give me any spoilers of how it ends, but like a lot has happened in Westeros. Dany has come back with the Dothraki horde. And the friggin' dragons just going to town and just melting all the slaver ships. And like, what an iconic line, right? When she calls it the Bay of Dragons, and Daria Naharis kind of looks at her and she's like, well, we can no longer call her Slaver's Bay. And it's like, wow, what a moment, man. What a friggin' moment, man. Like Dany and the dragons doing their thing, absolutely laying waste to the slavers. Just a lot of cool stuff is happening, and I can't wait to see how season 6 ends. We're going to try and finish it tomorrow night, but what a wild season 6 that has been. Ups and downs. You've got the mountain doing zombie things. You've got the Hound kind of coming back into his own, right? Like he kills the people who kill his buddies, and he's starting to develop. I know this is a long update, but just so much has happened since last week. Like, it's wild.
I have been waiting. I knew like, because that season, it's like Battle of the Bastards, the High Sept, it gets like, it's just boom, 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 boom. At the end, I'm telling you, I've just been sitting here like, I don't really know what I'm allowed to talk about, because it's every plot line is just like, okay. I don't really know. But dude, that Battle of the Bastards, man, like,
what an episode, man. Like I kept like, everybody's got their own opinions about people, but like, I'm all in on Jon Snow. Like,
he's a man.
Right? Like he is a man's man. Yes, he's probably like a little pompous in what he does, but like, I mean, the guy just gets results. He gets wins. Like, it is what it is. Like, leader, people clearly follow him. Like, just an awesome character. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Arya now that she's kind of left the many-faced guy, but still has all her skills and has
Arya's awesome.
Yeah, what a great character. And again, Sansa going from this little shriveling, little just like sniveling, like I'll do whatever for you, Joffrey, to being
an ice queen,
a bad bitch, man. And just
dude.
And when Jon Snow's like, I'm not a true Stark, like you're the Queen of the North now, it's like, okay, girl, get it, you know?
One of my favorite just character developments of the whole thing is how the Stark girls go from being like not the daughters of the Starks who like really have no, they're marrying sons off, and Arya's taking dancing lessons with her swordmaster secretly. They just become so powerful on their own, and I love them. I love them.
It's just like within like one season, Sansa has gone from just this little pawn on the chessboard to now the Queen of the North running things. And like, I mean, again, she went and got the Sons of the Vale to come help and ultimately win that battle against the Boltons. And like, I'm here for it, man. Here for it.
I just think it's shot really well. It's in the Sept when Lancel, I hate that dude, when he's in the basement and he's following the little kid, and then he's like stabbed and he's like crawling and he sees the like green
candles,
and it's like and
that's what I was like, what is happening? What is, and God bless Maggie, she's just sitting over there like this, like not saying a word, and I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? What is that? That's wildfire. What is happening?
Yes.
And then Cersei just thinking she's got her way, like she just doesn't have regard for anybody but herself. She blows it up, and then her only remaining son Tommy just jumps out the window.
Oh yeah,
like just what? Just like that. It's over.
Takes his crown off, and
he takes his crown off, goes off screen, comes back, steps in the window, and he's gone. And it's like, what? What a wild episode that was. The way that one ended, man, just freaking wild, dude.
I can't, and you know what? That's not even half of it, brother. It's just gonna keep going. You ain't even there yet.
Goodness.
God, that man. The best part of my Tuesdays is getting the Game of Thrones update. That is gonna do it for our show today. Thank you for watching at home. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you for hopping on with me, brother. King Meeks, Edward, Wayno. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Go check out Jess Benson at Grind City Media. She's happening right now. Check out Anthony Sane will be tomorrow. $2 Sports Show will be Friday. Night Court will be Thursday. Check them all out, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to go 3 wide tomorrow. We're going to talk some fantasy football tomorrow. I can't wait. And have a good rest of your Tuesday. If I can leave you with 2 things today, remember just to be a little weird, and remember to smile. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.